stream title's good. And my audio is being picked up. Load game. Now, 2320, this looks like it was it. Yes, this was the game mod by Sugadev I started playing Saturday evening. I probably would have actually continued playing it yesterday if I wasn't just spending more time on the sci-fi route in Castlevania 3. Because now I'm really having a lot of fun with that. So yes, this is the mod of Doki Doki Literature Club I started playing a while ago. Not too long ago, actually. And last we left off, Yuri and Natsuki were going over to Yuri's place for a sleepover. Your house is bigger than I remember. Haha. You haven't been here in years, haven't you? We were still in grade school last time I visited you. But one thing's for sure, your house is pretty cool. Thank you. Please have a sit, I'll make us some tea. Oh, unless you don't want some? I just assumed that. Tea's fine, thank you, Yuri. She sits down on the couch, still checking out every little detail in my living room. I'm hoping Physicist just comes by, because he wanted me to play this. In fact, he just suggested I play Doki Doki Literature Club in the first place. She's been really evasive whenever we start talking about her parents. I'm kind of the same when it comes to my father, though. I shake my head and I grab 2 teacups from my cupboard. I turn on my kettle and I let the water boil. Suddenly, Natsuki calls me from the living room. Yuri! I hope I will never have to do that again. What is it? You told me that... I can't hear the rest of her sentence. I walk to the couch. Right? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. You told me you have a knife collection? Would you mind show it to me? I loved the knife you chose last time, so I was wondering, you know. Of course, yeah. I want to see the knife collection more than the tea. I really want to see where this is gonna go. Mind if I settle here? I wouldn't mind. Well, I mean, my father would probably... Your father? What about him? No, forget I said anything. Anyway, tell me, why did Monica want you to speak to Level Engine so badly? Did you tell her something about wanting to talk to him? Oh, not at all. She just said some weird things. But I didn't want to bother you two. What do you mean, you two? I was just showing him some manga, you know. It's not like... I wasn't talking about anything like that, Natsuki. I was just saying you looked like you were having fun, so I didn't want to bother. Oh, is that so? Well, I guess I did have some fun. Natsuki's acting a little strange whenever I'm talking about main character / protagonist. I can't jump to conclusions like that, but it seems like she had a bit more than just some fun. I can't just ask her what she really thinks about him, though. She takes another sip of her tea and stands up. So, about that knife collection. Oh, that's right. I get up too and I head up to the office. Wow! Is this your father's office? I sigh. It is. He used to work at home, so I wasn't allowed to enter this room. I can understand why. She walks around the room looking at everything. She stops at the desk. Hey, this is from a while ago. Are you leaving everything as it is? It'd make a good place to work, though. I'm sorry, Natsuki, but I'd rather leave it like it is. That came out unexpectedly cold. But I don't want Natsuki to change the way everything is in this room. I'm sorry, then. I turn around and I open the closet. Natsuki looks at it with bewildered eyes. Whoa! When you told me you had a collection, I didn't expect it to be this big. Haha. After a few years, I guess it adds up. See, this one is my favorite. I gently take one of the knives from the top shelf. I hand it to Natsuki. It's beautiful! Where did you get that one? Actually, it was in the collection before I even started buying knives. I think my father got it during a trip to Bolivia. Hopefully he didn't also play Bolivia 96 while he was there. Bolivia? Your father must have been really rich. What was his job? I actually have no idea. It was so long ago I don't even remember much, you know. Natsuki returns the knife to me and I place it back on the shelf. So, what do you think? I really like it. I'd be glad to help you choose one next time. If you don't mind, of course. Of course not. It'd be interesting to see your tastes. Anyway, that's it. Why don't we go and find you some clothes for tonight? You can't just stay in your school uniform like that. If you don't make fun of me, then sure. Alright, let's see what we have here. I looked through my clothes, but I can't seem to find anything that would suit Natsuki. All my old clothes must be somewhere in my basement, so I won't find them here anyway. I was wondering. I turn around. Natsuki's sitting on the bed. What is it? Were you close to your father? I know it's none of my business, but we never really talked about him, so I'm just wondering. For you to keep all his things on his desk. It must mean you were close to him. I don't really want to talk about it. I understand why Natsuki wants to, but I just don't want to remember it. It's a bit of a complex story. It's not that I don't want to talk about it, but I think you can understand that. Oh, just a second. She grabs her phone in her pocket and she puts it to her ear. Yes? I'm at a friend's house. Why? I can hear someone shouting on the phone from here. Is that someone from her family? No. Why? Please. Just one evening? She heavily sighs. Alright then. She hangs up and she puts her phone back in her pocket. Who was it, if you don't mind me asking? Yuri, I'm terribly sorry. It seems like my father wants me to come back home. I'm truly sorry. It's alright. You should go home before your father worries too much. I understand. Sorry for making you stay here. No. I want to stay here. It's my father's fault. He's always like that. He's always like that? Why wouldn't Natsuki be able to see a friend? It doesn't matter. Sadly smile at her. Well, let's go then. Natsuki has apologized at least 3 times on our way to the living room. I feel bad for her. Her father probably feels worried because of me. Well, sorry for keeping you here then. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm so sorry. I told you, don't worry about it. It's fine. Natsuki sighs and opens my front door. See you tomorrow, Yuri. I beam at her and I close the door behind her. God. I sit on the floor, so I'm alone again. I thought I'd be able to spend my evening with Natsuki. I would have been able to talk to her about my concerns, but of course she had to leave. Why do these things keep happening to me? This is unfair. I'm all alone. Alone. I get up and I head to the kitchen. I grab a knife. I look at my arm. Would it really be that wrong to do it? I wouldn't if I were you, because that could get infected. It's just a test. Just to see how I'll feel. Natsuki's gone and I don't have much else to do. Is it really so wrong? It can't be. I lift my sleeve and I put the knife to my arm. I sigh. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. I'm actually getting really concerned right now. There's blood everywhere on my arm. Well, no shit. Why does it feel so good? This is wrong. It shouldn't feel good. I'm harming myself. But some people smoke, don't they? These people hurt themselves by smoking. They'll like it, don't they? That's very different, though. Cigarettes are made to be addicting. I'm sure they don't do the same with knives. Like, they don't do the same thing with knives. No, this is wrong. These marks will last forever. There are other ways to feel good. No. Why can't I find a proper solution? What's wrong? What isn't? I bury my head under some pillows. This is giving me a headache. Some people suffer of real problems, and here I am doing it because it feels good? What's wrong with me? No, this is what people say. But is it bad because they see it this way? It's just another way to relax. Just like smoking. What would Natsuki say if she saw this? Will I be able to stop? And why am I so calm? Why do I have so many questions? Calm down. And this one comes from Bolivia. Bolivia? Where is that? Haha, it's really far away. That's in South America, so I'd say pretty far away from here. Well, if they're in Japan, then it's even further away. One day you'll go there, Yuri. You have a big future. Will I be able to go to the sea? Of course. And you see, that one comes from... Is that her father speaking in a flashback of some sort? Or is that just another nightmare? Where am I? Did I fall asleep? I glance at the clock. Morning already? Ow. I fell on my side. Huh? What? My arm is still covered in blood. So this wasn't a dream. I really did. This. It didn't hurt yesterday, but now I just feel horrible. What was I thinking? I try to get up again. I feel a little dizzy. I'll have to eat a little. It seems that like I lost quite an amount of blood while I was sleeping. But first, I need to clean my arm. I have to see if what I did was really deep. I'm scared of what I'll see, but it's necessary. I'm actually nervous that we're all gonna get to see the cuts eventually. I didn't get any sort of warnings for graphic content whatsoever, so I kinda doubt it, but that would just make the mod even more shocking if we actually got to see the wounds. It's already unsettling enough. Like, she knows it's wrong, but can't seem to control herself. Well, this is what I got from the original game, so I'm pretty sure this is gonna follow canon just like DDRC did. I'd be surprised if it just deviated from canon. This isn't a good idea. It definitely isn't. Why is she going to the office again? What if I feel the urge to do it just like I did yesterday? No, I shouldn't take the risk. It's not like I have to do it. Especially at school, of all places. Actually, I open the closet and I grab a little pocket knife from the bottom shelf. Please don't. Please don't. You're so much better than this, I just know it. But how can I forget such a feeling of ecstasy when doing it? I'm allowed to feel good, am I not? I stuff the knife in my bag under all my books. I'll try not to use it, but just in case. I take a deep breath and I finally exit my house. I wonder if Sayori overslept again. I don't want to act clingy or anything, but I wonder. Would she mind if I came to meet her before school? She most likely overslept, so I'll probably find her at her house. I sound really creepy. But maybe that'll be a nice surprise for her? I turn left and I start walking to her house. Sayori doesn't live too far away, so it only took a few minutes to get to her home. I ring at her front gate. I wait for several minutes. What am I supposed to do now? I still have some time to kill, and Sayori's not available. Maybe I could take a walk, just like yesterday? It could be a little refreshing to get some fresh forest air. I think there's a little river in a forest nearby. I used to go there with Natsuki when we were kids. Oh god, my poem! With all the things that happened yesterday, I had totally forgotten about it. I'll just find a spot to write for a little bit. I won't have my usual comfort, but I can't afford to go back home for now. I'll find some inspiration near the river. The sound of flowing water is relaxing. So, this is where Yuri writes the poem? Who's that person near the river? What? What? Did I just see that? No, I must be dreaming. I could swear I saw a wound on Sayori's arm. She neatly puts her sleeve back in place and takes a book out of her bag. No. Sayori wouldn't do this. Does it make her feel good, too? Maybe that's why she's always so happy. It wouldn't be enough to explain why she's here, though. I'd like to go and see her. She looks so focused, I can't just bother her like that. Without making noise, I get up from the bench and I put my notebook in my bag. I'll stop spying on her like this. Friends don't do these things. This is wrong. I can't get what I've seen out of my head. What did Sayori do to her arm? No, I'm probably overthinking this. She'd tell us if she ever did something like that, but I didn't tell anyone. Though I do it because I want it, right? Not because I'm sad. Sayori was silent yesterday, so maybe she was sad? I shake my head. This is none of my business. Once again, I grab my notebook and my bag. I'll really have to talk about this with Sayori. I can use symbolism to actually convey my emotions through another concept. That sounds like it could work. I start writing a few lines. It's surprisingly hard to come up with the right words, but it's slowly starting to look good. After a few minutes of writing and erasing, I blow on the page to remove all the eraser marks. There's this one again. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unusual human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increases its phase and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited, or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. This whole poem makes a lot more sense and it's easier to see what she's actually talking about if you play through this mod from her point of view, as opposed to just play through the original game where he's just this generic main character. Oh, the poem just skips on itself. I don't know if Level Engine would be able to understand it. Probably not. I didn't exactly get it first time I saw it either. Oh no! Is it that late already? I had totally forgotten about the time. I break into a run heading for the school. I'm all out of breath. My arm started hurting while I was running too. I hope it didn't start bleeding. Classes must have started already. I entered the building without stopping to catch my breath. I rest my head against the wall. Classes must have started at least an hour ago. I probably missed a lot. I'll probably get weird stares when entering the room. I slowly exhale. I can do this. I knock on the door and enter. I directly look at my table without looking at anybody else. Why can I feel all those stares on me? What's wrong with being late? Please don't. They'll stop looking at me now. I shyly look around me. Some students are still looking at me and whispering. Stop this. I rest my head in my arms. I can hear my slow breath. Their whispers are getting so distant. When are we gonna start getting jump scares? I'm actually getting nervous. I stretch my arms. Did I fall asleep in class? I slowly raise my head to look around me. Empty? Yep. How come nobody woke me up? You took your time. Huh? I turn around in my chair to see Natsuki sitting behind me. Classes are already over, you know. Did you stay up all night? Oh, hi, Natsuki. No, I'm just feeling a little tired. I got enough sleep, I promise. Alright, so, before we get back to our usual selves, I'd just like to say sorry for yesterday. I was looking forward to our evening and I messed it all up. So yeah, sorry. It's fine. I hope you didn't get into too much trouble. Oh, not at all. I just explained everything calmly. Anyway, the way she's speaking clearly indicates that she's lying. She probably got yelled at or even grounded. You're late to the club again, and I was the only one in the room, so I was getting bored. Why don't you come with me? Of course. No, Monica is not there? Same goes for Sayori. Should have talked to Sayori. 2 days ago, when we were walking with Monica, is that right? Indeed. I was just wondering, do you think Sayori is that kind of person? The type who likes to be left alone? That kind of person. To be honest, I don't think it works that way. We all have a little part of us that wants to be alone at some point. So I think maybe Sayori wants to be left alone too? Don't you ever feel this way? Not really. I'm actually scared of loneliness. That's totally normal. What you said was really impressive. That's not the kind of advice I hear, especially coming from you. What's that supposed to mean? I'm just teasing you. Let's get going. Can't take the risk with Sayori, though. I'm going to the club in a second. It's all silent around us. The room's empty. Natsuki immediately runs to her desk and sits down. She grabs a manga from the pile she put in front of her. I put my bag next to hers and I sit down too. I take a few seconds to breathe. It feels like I'm at home, here. I grab my book from my bag and I open it to the page I stopped at yesterday. I didn't even get the chance to read as much as I wanted to. So many things have been happening lately. Hopefully, things will be back to normal once Level Engine. Did my heart just skip a beat? I just happened to imagine his face and... What are you doing? Oh, just reading? To me it looks like you weren't reading. You haven't turned a page for a whole minute. Aren't you a fast reader? Well, I was just thinking about something. But that doesn't matter, don't worry. If you say so. I'll also have to find out what Natsuki thinks of Level Engine. I'm probably way too curious, but I really want to know what she feels. Isn't this what friends do? I'm pretty sure it is. I'll concentrate on my book for a bit. I'm overthinking things again. I turn my page and I finally get started with a new chapter. Somebody knocks on the door. I don't look up. I need to finish this paragraph. Suddenly, the door opens. Natsuki and I both turn around. Hello, girls! I promise I don't want to do that again either. We both got up from our chairs to greet her. Hey, Sayori! How are you? I'm all good. Finally, someone has arrived. I've got to admit I'm relieved to see Sayori. Did you oversleep again? I may have. Make sure you get a good sleep cycle, alright? Sayori just nods. I'm pretty sure she didn't oversleep. She wasn't at home this morning, and it was still pretty early. Just what is she hiding? Did you at least get some time to write a poem? Oh yeah, I did. Natsuki and I both stand here waiting for her to show us her poem. She's just staring at us, smiling. Alright. We both get back to our seats. Didn't she want to show us her poem? From the corner of my eye, I see her throwing her bag into a corner. Her smile has vanished. Maybe I should talk to her? Before I get the chance to, Level enters the room. Sayori immediately starts smiling and walks up to him. Yo, Sayori, looks like you're in a good mood today? I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. What she's saying sounds so genuine. I just can't believe her, though. It's really weird. I can't really understand her. Why is this bothering me so much? I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. I swear I just heard Sayori's voice shaking. Something's not right here. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that? All of a sudden. I think I know where this is going. So Level Engine actually knows Sayori really well. No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. I look up from my book to see Sayori getting her purse. She opens it and she turns it upside down. 2 small coins fall out of it. I can't really blame her. I always end up buying too many books with my money. I get back to my reading, still half listening to them. I can see right through you. How'd you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and want an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry, and so that only leaves the one option. Fairly impressive. His reasoning was really well thought out. Actually, it makes sense. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to. Without thinking, I slightly chuckle. This situation is so funny, I can't control myself. This is a little embarrassing. I slowly look up from my book to stare at Level Engine. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Suddenly, Sayori walks up to me and grabs my shoulders. Yuri, tell Level Engine to let me borrow some money. What am I supposed to do now? Either I side with Sayori and Level Engine will probably see me as a childish girl, or I side with him and I'll lose a chance to get closer to Sayori. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I suddenly close my book and I gasp. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. Oof. Sayori looks at me with a puzzled expression. Did I just sound really harsh? I could swear I saw her flinch for a second. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. After what I just said to her, Sayori still compliments me. It makes me want to talk to her all the more. But this is a little embarrassing. I glance at Level Engine. He's gently smiling at me, most likely amused by Sayori's words. You were right, though. I did something bad and I have to accept the revolution. I chuckle. I cough to hide my laughter. I don't want Sayori to be hurt. She's hilarious. Retribution. That. Still, coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Before I get the chance to keep teasing her, Level Engine jumps in. Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Just what is she planning to do? It seems like her gaze is locked on Sayori. I almost fall from my chair. A huge cookie just slapped Sayori in the face. So this is what Natsuki was preparing. I turned my head to see her with a proud look on her face. I slowly shake my head, grinning at her. Ow! What was... A cookie! Sayori soon loses focus of the cookie and looks around her, looking for the culprit. She dramatically puts her hands in front of her mouth. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I chuckle while looking at Loveland, and he looks a bit embarrassed because of Sayori's lack of memory. We stop looking at each other. At least he does. I can't bring myself to stop looking at his eyes. Such a deep, yet vibrant color. Without warning, Natsuki walks up in front of me and points at Sayori. Ahaha! I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. She tightly hugs the cookie, almost crushing it to 1,000 pieces. Somehow I feel like she's faking something. I can't pinpoint what it is, but something's definitely off. Or maybe I'm just overthinking because of what I saw this morning. That's probably it. I shake my head and I look at the comical scene taking place in front of me. Jeez, just eat it. How can she be so expressive and funny all the time? Teach me your secrets, Sayori. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. She takes another bite of her cookie. Weird. Natsuki usually brings me one. Oh, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. Sayori suddenly looks at Natsuki with her puppy eyes. She takes a deep breath. She's going for the cute voice. But yours is chocolate. Without hesitation, Natsuki answers. She's strong. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still really happy you shared this one with me. Can we look at something else besides just the cookie? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Suddenly, Sayori's expression transforms. It seems like she has come to a rather enlightening conclusion. Eh? You don't think she has a... Just as I expected from Sayori. I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. She's the most popular one out of us. Of course she'd be desirable. It'd make me a little sad, of course, not seeing her club president. But if that can make her happy, I guess I can forgive and forget about it. I look over to see Sayori deep in thought. Yeah, that's true. Natsuki looks like she doesn't agree. Maybe she's feeling a little jealous? Excuse me? Before I get the chance to tease her some more, the club door swings open. Just what was she doing with that boyfriend of hers? Wait, this is merely Sayori's theory, right? I silently laugh. This is why Sayori's life is so fun. At least, it seems fun. Sorry. I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Sayori approaches Monica with a curious look. Eh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Natsuki and I glance at each other. Of course she'd talk about it to Monica. She can't escape Sayori's perfect theory. A boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? She glances at Loveland, who's clearly not understanding the situation. With an amused look, he shrugs. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. Must have not heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. Impressive. How can she be so efficient? I barely have time to read. So maybe this was why she left us yesterday. There's no shame in showing us you play the piano, though. Such a beautiful instrument. Who wouldn't admire a pianist? I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool! You should play something for us, Monica. That's... She quickly glances at protagonist. I guess it really is nerve-wracking to play an instrument in front of someone. Level engine on top of that. Maybe once I get a little bit better I will. Yay! That sounds cool. I'll also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down. She grins at him. Ah, love. Monica ended up missing Sayori's little extravaganza, but I suppose that's not really relevant right now. Well, it would have been better if she'd been here, though. In the end, he simply shrugs. Not really. Everyone gets back into their seats. I grab the book I left and open it to the last page I read. Somehow, I have trouble concentrating. Level engine's right next to me. This is stressful. I take a deep breath and I get back to my book. It's not long before Natsuki comes up to level engine. Not only did she stop hating him, but she's getting closer to him. I feel a knot in my stomach. Maybe I should have a talk with Monica at some point. I glance at level engine and Natsuki. He's following her to the closet, presumably to find some more manga. Without warning, Natsuki turns around and yells at Monica. She really isn't herself when she was at level, huh? How come it's acting funny? I grab my arm with my right hand. I anxiously look around me to see if anyone's watching. I close the book. My left arm is literally shaking. It's not pain, but I somehow believe it may be linked to what I'm feeling right now. Do I need to do it? Just a little, to calm down. After all, level engine's presence is a little bit stress-inducing, and since he's spending time with Natsuki, and Monica and Sayori are talking to each other, so it's just me. I'm allowed to do it, right? Just a little. Without a second thought, I grab my bag and I head out. Close the door behind me. Part of me wants to think that this isn't a good idea, but in the end, it'll be a positive thing. Yeah, there shouldn't be an extra T there. Monica would agree, wouldn't she? She's always saying what matters is being at ease. This is definitely a way to feel at ease. Even though there's other ways to do it. I drop my bag and I grab the knife under my books. I remove the security lock. What's the security lock for? If I'm doing it on purpose, then it can't be bad. Without thinking, I start softly cutting my skin. Just a little. I'm feeling all dizzy. So many cuts. They're not even deep, but I really need to make that many? Maybe it wasn't. Is anyone there? I let out a gasp. Is this Sayori? Yuri, is that you? I slowly look down the stairs to see who's calling my name. Please don't tell me it's Sayori. I see the top of her hair down the stairs. This isn't good. Definitely not good. It's me, don't be scared. I shake the blood off my arms and I stand in front of Sayori. Yuri, are you alright? I'm shaking. Sayori looks absolutely mortified. What have I done? I just want to feel better. Sayori. Oh my. Oh. Don't tell me you. I do the first thing I can think of. Even if it means sounding like I'm weak, I can't let anyone know. This isn't anyone's business, it's mine. Sayori, please don't. Don't tell anyone. Please, I beg you. She's looking at me with the empty eyes. It's just, you have to understand, you know? It's not a bad thing. I'm doing it for myself. Please forget what you've seen. Please. My voice is gradually getting louder. It seems like Sayori's not listening to me. She's lost in her thoughts. She snaps back to reality and looks at me, still with the same horrified look. Yes, I won't tell anyone, Yuri. Don't worry. I don't know. Sayori looks heartbroken. I know I shouldn't have used what I've seen this morning as an argument, but it's too late now. I walk past her and I head to the club room. Why did I talk to her like that? I didn't know what else to do. What if she has to live through the same thing? Have I been too harsh? Most likely. I open the door and I head into the club room. I hear the door close behind me as I head to the table. Everyone's still there. Now, where was Sayori headed when she found me? The third floor? No, that would be useless. There's nothing to see up there. Maybe she just wanted to breathe some fresh air. I turn left and I walk down the stairs. Now, where can she be? Ow! I feel a sharp pain in my left arm. Seems like I just bumped into someone. Hello? Why do I feel like I actually recognize this character from Katawa Shouju? I remember the DDLC subreddit actually did a crossover with that for an April Fool's joke. Weird girl. I'm sure she has a name. The girl holds her hand out for me to grab. She helps me get back onto my feet. It's fine, don't worry. I feel really uneasy. I wasn't careful. I could have hurt her. She's smaller than me, too. I mean, what makes more sense to cross Katawa Shouju with the DLC compared to, say, K-On! Or Love Life? Both were made, both this and, well, both the DLC and, you know, they were both made in the same game engine. So it makes sense. Excuse me. Yes? Do you actually like reading? Pardon the question, it's just I like reading too, and your book looks... Her voice is barely audible. As weird as she seems, I feel sympathy for her. I don't exactly know who this character is, just... I recognize the school uniform and the art style. Her eyes light up with excitement. She's definitely like me. What were the odds? The people from my class don't usually talk to me like that. As I look at her some more, I notice her uniform isn't quite the same as ours. If you don't mind me asking, what are you doing here? Seems like you're not even from our school, is that right? No, I'm on a temporary cultural trip. I was looking for a friend, actually. Do you know someone named Hiseo? Have you seen a boy with a different uniform recently? I don't really remember seeing anyone. Thanks anyway. We both stand there awkwardly for about 10 seconds or so. Suddenly she mumbles something. Pardon? I'm sorry if that sounds a bit stupid, but... What's your name? Oh, that's fine, really. My name's Yuri. Yes, I'm still playing this DDLC mod, and one of the Katawa Shouju characters just appeared in it. Wasn't expecting this at all, just like how I wasn't expecting Mugi, or Maki, not Miki, to appear in that other DDLC mod I played before this one. Except this one's actually still looking to be pretty good so far. Just really slow pace so far. Oh, Hanako. This one's really slow paced, but once it starts to pick up, oh boy, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. Where did I get this mod? This one was also made by Cykadev, Cykadev. Yuri? I'm sorry, but why are there cuts on your arms? You're bleeding a little. Of course, I wasn't careful enough when I grabbed the book. Hanako doesn't look as panicked as Sayori was, though. I didn't want to ask about it. I can understand. I'd only like to say that. She takes a deep breath. She looks a little nervous. Well, who wouldn't be in this situation? In the school I come from, there are a lot of people who have problems. And these people, they'd like to be normal. Like you. So whatever's making you do this isn't worth losing what you have. Your skin is of a beautiful pale texture. Don't waste this. That's all. I'm sorry, maybe this isn't my business. Sorry. I totally feel like I'm looking at another Yuri right now. At this rate, someone will find out. I'm going to have to go back to my club room, Hanako. I'm sorry about this. Maybe we can talk another time? Actually, I was looking for Hiseo because we're heading back to our school, so until we meet again, Yuri. Oh, that's it. I would have liked her to stay around. Yuri would have had some company. What a weird encounter. But what she said, what kind of school does she go to? And most importantly, how could I show my weakness so easily? If you really want to find out, then you should actually play that game. But she's not wrong. I'm just permanently hurting my body for my own enjoyment. Although, isn't life about enjoying things? This is bothering me too much. Before I even walk up the last step, I hear a voice in front of me. So how was it? I quickly look up to see Monica staring at me. Sorry? How was it? How was what? You were talking to a girl, is that right? So Monica was wondering where I was. I just bumped into her, nothing more. We talked for a few minutes. How do you know that? I haven't seen you when we were talking. Oh, that. It's just... I was testing a little. New character files. Importing data. I was just trying something. What? Monica, it makes no sense. Do you believe in supernatural things, Yuri? Sometimes, yes, but why are you asking these questions? You're being scary, Monica. I can't quite understand what she wants to say. I just want to go back to the club room. I try walking past her, but she doesn't let me. What if I told you you're not real? Excuse me? What if I told you this isn't reality? That this is merely a predetermined world created by a superior entity? Would you believe me? I laugh a little. How am I supposed to react? Monica? Oh, that's my speakers doing this? Was that my speakers, or was that from outside? What do you mean you were testing a little? Hanako wasn't real. How do you know her name? What do you mean, Monica? This situation makes no sense. Yeah, sorry, my nose is itchy. I always hate it when that happens during a live stream. It's worse with the face cam. It looks so annoying. Or embarrassing, whichever. I should have expected this. Expected what? You're worrying me. Did anything happen in the club room? Sorry, Yuri. Sorry about what? Reloading game. Ugh, my back hurts. Just what? I quizzically look around at me, trying to understand the reason for my presence here. I want to look in the files real quick. That was from another mod I played. I don't think there's anything funny in here right now. I slowly lift my sleeve. The cuts are still there. I don't remember. I think I passed out shortly after Sayori found me. Maybe Sayori's already at the back of the club? Sayori's not here either. I'll just wait for her here. I enter the room without making noise. This time, Monica immediately notices me. She waits for me to sit at the table across of her. Where were you, Yuri? I've been searching for you, but I couldn't find you. Oh, I was out to breathe a little. Oh, is that so? Still feeling a little jealous? She says this last sentence with a little grin on her face, clearly teasing me. I don't think the feeling I've had was jealousy this time, though. That must be it, I guess. I see. If you need anything, come see me. Just waiting for Sayori to come back so we can share the poems. What'd she say? Refrain from sharing your poems with Sayori. I suspect that she's not confident about hers, and it probably makes her feel bad. In a normal situation, I would have believed that sharing poems could be a good way for her to express herself. But if Monica tells me that this isn't a good idea, on top of that, what I've seen this morning was definitely real. Judging by the hurt look on her face earlier today at the river, it's clear that the wound she had was done to herself. I totally understand. I'm counting on you to make her feel at ease then. Of course. I don't know if I should just spoil it right away. Nah, I probably won't. If you've seen enough of these, you'll probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Seems like I'm not alone thinking about her. I'm sure Monica will take care of her in a proper manner. I shake my head and I grab my book in my bag. Huh? I notice a few bloodstains on the cover. The book looks a little worn. Did it fall somewhere? I don't recall reading my book while I was out there. Or did I? I can't remember much. I guess I should think about sleeping on my bed someday. I'd probably sleep a little better. I open my book again and I start eagerly reading the passage I had to stop at before leaving the room. The club door opens. Sayori enters, in her arms a cardboard box. Oh, she was looking for supplies for the festival, maybe? Supplies. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? I shiver as soon as I hear her last sentence. I'm going to have to share the poem I wrote this morning. What if someone really understands what I meant in it? Monica would be able to understand the meaning behind it. What would she think? And what if Natsuki understands? She'll definitely judge my little hobby. That's how she is about these things. I grab the poem I wrote in my bag and I lay it on the table. Without even looking at him, I know where Level's headed. Natsuki's already expectantly looking at him, waiting to share a poem. Sayori is once again next to them, listening while pretending she's not there. I kind of understand why she'd want to stay near Level. Yuri! Huh? I turn my head left. Monica's sitting next to me, with a funny expression. I've been calling you for a few times, but you haven't answered. Too busy looking at the little lovebirds? I quizzically look at Monica. Lovebirds? I'm just kidding, Yuri, don't worry. These two sure are growing close, don't you think? I nervously tap the table with my index finger. Indeed. You don't sound too convinced, though. Did you really finally make up with Natsuki yesterday? Of course we did. She almost stayed at my house too. Oh, really? Actually, she couldn't stay. It's complicated, but she was most likely grounded by her father. He called her while she was at my place. Monika's expression suddenly darkens. Oh, you mean her father wasn't aware that she was at your place? Exactly. She said she'd call him a little later. You should avoid doing that. It's not my business, but just avoid it. I completely understand what Monika's saying. Her expression clearly shows that she's worried about something, though. Yes, of course. I don't think she'd like to come back to my place anyway. We haven't really talked much this morning. She shrugs. Don't bother. There may be circumstances that make the situation a little delicate for her. Just make sure you support her with, well, everything. She chuckles a little, including how close she's getting to our new member. My heart sinks as soon as I hear her mention this. Of course I'll support her. If it means Natsuki can be happy, and most importantly, if it means I can still be friends with her, it's a small price to pay. I promise I'll take care of Natsuki. Good. Not that I had doubts in the first place, though. You're always so responsible, Yuri. I'm not so sure if that's true. Maybe you don't see it, but I do. You're always down to earth, calm and thoughtful. She looks behind her. Looks like Natsuki's raising her voice. She suddenly darts out of the room, clutching her stomach. Seems like something happened. I'll share my poem with you a little later, Yuri. Looks like she was headed to the bathroom. I swear I'd support her. Before I even get to the bathroom, I hear Natsuki coughing. It sounds like she really doesn't feel good. I enter the bathroom after knocking on the door. Natsuki? It feels weird. Just yesterday, Natsuki was the one entering this room looking for me. I guess this is how I pay her back. I hear some more coughing coming from one of the stalls. The door is locked. I knock on it a few times. Natsuki, are you alright? Leave me alone, Yuri. Those words hurt me more than they should have. Natsuki would never talk to me like this. Moreover, in such a context, I can understand if something went wrong. You were there for me yesterday, right? I nervously laugh. And you were supposed to be my role model too, remember? Natsuki doesn't laugh. I hear her sigh on the other side of the door. I don't think I should be your role model anymore. What? Why? How? Why would Natsuki say something like that? No. No! Is it because of Level Engine? Did he do something wrong? Or is it my fault? I'm sorry, was I too clingy? Annoying? Stop it, Yuri. Let's just talk later, alright? Her sentence is interrupted by her sudden coughing. She really doesn't sound good, but what am I supposed to do in this situation? Okay, this is the second choice we get to make in the game. Even then, I don't know if it's going to have any effect. Actually, no, it was the third one. There was the which knife we wanted to buy, there was the poem, and now there's this one. Try to understand the problem. I hope this works. I know you hate when I do this, but is it because of me yesterday? Truth is, I've noticed you're distant. So tell me, if anything's wrong, just tell me. How am I supposed to live knowing I hurt my best friend? Why do you always believe that things are your fault, Yuri? I sense a bit of anger in her voice. Did I say something wrong? Stop assuming these things. If I tell you everything's fine, then stop trying to find something wrong. Of course I shouldn't have done that. I should have just told her I'd be there for her. I'm sorry. Sorry for being so mean. Just listen, I'll explain later. Just don't worry, Yuri. Go back to the club room. If they ask you where I am, just tell them that I got my lady things. I burst out laughing at the same time as Natsuki. Alright then. So what if we make the other choice? I can't even remember how long ago we met. What I can remember though is that you've always been there for me, so let me be there for you. I'm not really the best type of person there is. I'm always spacing out and I'm always doing everything wrong, but every time something goes wrong, you're always there for me. So, please, don't just forget about me. No matter the circumstances, even if it's about Level Engine, I'll side with you. What is she feeling? She was so cheerful earlier. What makes you think I'd forget you? I never said that I would, but you can't understand. I can't tell you. Let's just forget it, okay? I'll be back later. Just wait for me in the club room. If only I could do more. At least she wasn't sick or something. And they're still sharing poems. Have you noticed something different about Natsuki lately? Is she talking to me? I was focused on Level Engine. He's eagerly reading our poem. It looks like he's really enjoying it. So? Oh, yes, well, Natsuki's always been a little like that. Like that? What do you mean? Whenever something is on her mind, her behavior changes a little. Though I don't recall her seeing her as troubled as she is today, honestly. It's a little strange. That's right. Just now we were talking about her poem with Level. As soon as she came back, she took it from me and she wouldn't give it back. She didn't want to give it back? How odd. She usually acts slightly differently in this case, but she's never acted this differently. Indeed, I've tried to convince her to give it back, but she liked the poem too much. In fact, I suspect this poem was written specifically for her. Wait, as in Level Engine wrote it for her? Exactly. We've talked about it, but he seems really uneasy. It wouldn't surprise me if he were trying to impress her. Natsuki's reaction was probably linked to it, too. I think our little baker is in love. My heart sinks once more. In love? Love must be such a wonderful thing. But does it really have to change people? Is what Natsuki's feeling even love? It's too hard to understand. I just can't understand love. Don't be ridiculous, Monica. They've only known each other for a few days. Don't you think love can happen really quickly? A few days isn't more than enough to like someone. In fact, 30 minutes is more than enough to like someone, too. That is, if you've seen the Castlevania 3 Sypha speedruns. Trevor and Sypha meet, and like not even 30 minutes later, they fall in love after they work together to kill Dracula. And after all, since he and Natsuki look so good together, I'd have no right to feel this way. Do you think people aren't allowed to feel? You're free to feel whatever you want, Yuri. You just have to be careful to not let it change you. Just like what Natsuki's doing right now. Oh, I understand. I'm Natsuki's friend, so it's my duty to help her. Exactly. Anyway, what are we doing here? Aren't we supposed to be sharing poems? Oh, right. Poems. This talk was so interesting I actually forgot the initial purpose of our discussion. I take the poem I left on the table and hand it to Monica. This poem is kind of different compared to yesterday's. It's really troubling. This time, I can't seem to find the correct meaning behind it unless it's something really dark. I open my mouth to talk, but I can't find anything to say. I stand there for a few seconds trying to come up with a cohesive response. It's just, well, I can see it in my head, but it'd be too hard to put it into words. Did you at least enjoy the poem? Oh, yes, of course. You really have a certain talent with words, Yuri. Your poems are mesmerizing. As soon as I started reading it, I couldn't stop. You have a fascinating method of writing. Well, thank you, Monica. I spent a long time establishing my writing style, so hearing that from you really is heartwarming. Keep up the good work. He's gonna show you his poem. Oh, didn't Natsuki want to keep that one? Or is it Natsuki keeping his poem? There it is again. I don't even think I need to read this one again. Once again, the structure feels a little off. A little off. The style is clearly a little different. It's a bit better. The words blend in with each other, and the idea he wants to convey is clear. Obviously, he had an image in mind while writing it. Monika's right, this is directed at Natsuki. This is pretty good. Were you influenced by seeing everyone's writing styles yesterday? I guess you could say that. He was definitely influenced by Natsuki. I can see the same type of syntax as she uses in his poem. Simplicity and efficiency. I respect you for trying new things. You don't need to be afraid to be a little more daring. Metaphors can go a long way. Don't feel like you need to work your brain like turning a bunch of gears. I'd love to see how complex Level Engine's poems can get. Try letting your mind wander through your feelings, and write down the things you see and hear. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate exercise. He's particularly cute like that. What am I thinking? Reading the poem again. Am I supposed to talk now? Nope. I was more daring with this one than yesterday's. I guess this is the best I could come up with. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I can't help but smile to myself. It looks like he did understand the point of my poem. Only 2 days in and he's already starting to understand poems a little more. Impressive. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Now, I'm not too sure. Does he understand it or not? You're not supposed to ignore the face value of a poem. It's part of it, too. I thought you despised my kind of hobby. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's so interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies, but I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? I suddenly gasped. Please don't tell her I said that. I spoke in my mind. Whenever he's around, I'm having a hard time separating my words from my thoughts. Don't worry, I have no reason to. I sigh with relief. Okay, well thank you for sharing it with me. He nods and he gives me my poem back. He turns around and he goes towards Sayori, who's now smiling at him. In a few seconds, Monika's already next to me, ready to share her poem. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. I've already read that poem out, so I'm just gonna stop like halfway. I just look at it for a solid minute. Even more impressive than the one I read yesterday. The words mix to create a perfect rhythm, and even though the meaning of the poem's indeed a little blurry, I can feel something. This poem makes me feel something, but this is doesn't happen often, but it's truly incredible. However, it's really flattering to hear you complimenting my poem. What did you particularly like about it? I pondered it for a few seconds, trying to put my thoughts into words. There are many striking elements that can be considered as good, but there were two specific factors that made me like it. First, the metaphors you used at the end. I really enjoy them. They're easy to picture, yet they convey so much more in their apparent simplicity. Second, the rhythm. Just like the one you wrote yesterday, I was so into it. It's like the words followed each other perfectly, if that makes any sense. It's good. Really good. Do you seriously believe that? Of course. I wouldn't lie about these things. I didn't expect it to be that good, quite honestly. So thank you. It's no big deal. Thank you for showing it to me. I hand her the poem. Just as I do so, Natsuki comes up next to us, poem in hand. Show us your poem, then. Oh, Amy likes spiders. Except that's not Natsuki's handwriting. Except I think he put the wrong font in there. And the text is actually pretty damn tiny without the scroll bar. Some kind of mix between her usual simplicity and a strong message. Level Engine didn't lie. This poem is also about having a weird hobby. Monika doesn't say a word. It looks like she liked the poem as well. Well, Natsuki, how can I say this? Oh no, you're gonna criticize me again. I'm kidding. I really like it. Actually, Level Engine told me my poem was very similar to yours. She winces as I say his name. It's much longer than yesterday's, right? Yep. See, I can use more words than you think. Indeed. Doesn't it share some elements with Level Engine's poem a little? Natsuki flinches once more. I'm pretty sure Monika is just testing Natsuki a little. I don't know if I should consider this funny or mean. No, he copied my style, but let's not talk about this, alright? Come on, you know I'm just teasing you. Anyway, why don't you show me your poem, Yuri? She's nervous, I can feel it. She reads my poem a few times. How? Pardon? How could you write about the same subject as me? What are the odds? Oh, that. I guess we're connected in some way. And about the poem itself, how was it? Well, it feels a little unlike you. Unlike me? Don't tell me she actually understood the meaning of it. Monika couldn't even understand. What do you mean exactly? Well, Monika looks startled. I don't think she was listening to us. What is it, Natsuki? I need your help. Something in this poem doesn't feel quite like Yuri, but I can't put my finger on it. When we talked about it, I couldn't find the correct meaning. It honestly mostly made me think of very dark things, honestly. Maybe this is what's bothering you? Yuri doesn't write about dark things, usually? They're getting dangerously close to the main point of the poem. How am I supposed to justify myself? I don't know. I must have read a little too much before writing it. But that's what is important, is that you enjoyed it, right? Of course. It's not my writing style, but it's well executed. Good job. Looks like these two are done sharing their poems. We're all done reading each other's poems. Is this the plans for the festival now? Sort of. Oh, the festival. We're gonna be performing? Is this some kind of joke? No. Her look says otherwise. There's no way I'm going to perform. Performing? But, Monica. Without even listening to our concerns, she takes a proud posture and breathes in before talking. Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it all on the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been silent since the start of the debate, shows us the poster she's been working on. I didn't know she was such a good artist. Her lines are delicate and the coloring is well done. I smile at her, but Natsuki doesn't seem to care. It looks like she's about to shout at Monica. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know? There is no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I shyly raise my hand. I don't want to go against Monica's will, but this is just too much for me to handle. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Just imagining being in front of a crowd. I can't. Definitely not. I shake my head in fear. Guys. No, Sayori, I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So, I'm sorry. I feel guilty. Seeing Monica so sad after we rejected her idea. I really, really want to do it for her. But I just can't. I know my limits. Monica doesn't look ready to give up just yet. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Is Sayori really saying that? I mean, I shouldn't judge people before learning more about them, but she's always so silent. I wouldn't have expected her to be so poetic. What she's saying makes sense. Wandering through our own feelings, as I described it. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if it takes us standing in front of a room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki remains silent, probably thinking about the pros and cons of such a performance. I wish I could say something, but Monica's words resonate in my head. She's totally right. Our goal is to get more members and to share our passions for literature. Sayori doesn't look too bothered. She's anxiously watching us, waiting for our answers. God, Monica, how can you be so convincing? I guess this is something she developed as being part of the debate team. Level Engine agrees. Just have to go along with it. What am I supposed to do? If he wants me to do it, then I guess I'll do it. You're the best, Yuri. He'll be fine. She wants us to practice now? No way! Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no, Monica doesn't even show an ounce of compassion. It's an honorable motive, but it's just not the right time, not while Level Engine is here. What if I end up making a fool of myself while reading? Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Sayori has her hand raised and she looks all fired up. I wish I could be as willing as she. Aha, of course. Now, let's see. I should try bringing the ones I have at home at some point. She reads one and nods. A few seconds later, she's behind the podium, ready to recite her poem. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Ahem. Before she even says the first word, I can already feel the power of her poem. Just like Love Luncheon, she has that special aura. It's hard to define. She starts reciting. Her voice is clear and stable. The rhythm of her poem is extremely regular and consistent, just like the poems she showed me. It seems like she has her own particular writing style, but it's not only a writing style. It's as if her poems were meant to be recited. I can't tell if she takes time to recite each and every one of her poems, but this one thing is for sure. She's really talented. I should try getting some inspiration from her poems. Before I know it, the recitation is already over. Everyone's focused on her. We all applaud as Monica catches her breath and smiles at us. She looks really proud of herself. Actually, seeing her enjoying her time up there, why can't that not be me? It's only performing in front of my friends, right? It's not going to be such a big deal if I fail. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. And then Sayori goes next. Wait, Yuri? What next? This poem is called All the Looks Are Focused on Me. I wasn't expecting it to be this stressful. You can do it, Yuri. I faintly smile at Sayori. I can do it. It's called Afterimage of a Crimson Eye. I clutch my poem even harder. I take a few seconds to catch my breath and I start reading the poem. I keep butchering my sentences. However, it's not such a bad feeling. It actually feels pretty good. It's like nobody's here anymore. The words flow out of me. I can't really control it anymore. I'm already reaching the end. I want this to keep going. Who would have known it would be such an interesting experience? Everything feels calm. Too bad. It's already the end. Okay, I thought that was gonna get scary for a second. That looked too peaceful. I was just reading my poem. Nobody's clapping though. They're all standing there staring at me. Love Luncheon is the first one to start applauding. Everyone else follows. However, they look more or less confused. Was my performance that awkward? That was really good. Thank you for sharing. I've seen to exhausted all the words I can muster. I don't really feel so good. This is embarrassing, but Love Luncheon applauded. He was the first. For some reason, that makes me genuinely happy. I guess I'm next then. Like, why is the music so quiet now? Was this something from the game itself, or? Yeah, I think the music just lowered volume as part of the game. I don't even know if I made speakers or anything. Hope not, because I don't want to get blasted. Protect that smile at all costs. Don't make me go before Level Engine. It's not like I can even compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Level Engine lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. That was mean. Is she really trying to make us believe she has no specific feeling towards Level Engine? Somehow I have trouble believing this. Natsuki, it's fine, it's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. As in the random 20 words. His face is also incredibly delicate. Before I know it, his poem is already over. Haven't listened to the end. I need to stop focusing on other things. Sorry, I'm really not as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. He looks disappointed in himself. It makes my heart sink to see him like that. Wish I could compliment him on what was actually good in this performance, but I just can't bring myself to talk. I pushed myself too hard. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah. I'm going. This poem is called... It's called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. She takes a breath and starts reading it. She progressively relaxes as she reads through it. Even though she sounds a little tense, she's got the same rhythm as Monica. Reading her poems and hearing them are completely different experiences. They sound much more complex when recited this way. What do these poems actually look like, out of all curiosity? I wonder what the fans would assume that these poems would look like, because I'm assuming that some of the fan base maybe actually wrote what these poems would theoretically be. Like, someone probably wrote Jump, My Meadow, After Image of a Crimson Eye, the way they fly. Pretty sure someone has to have had a theory as to what those poems could actually look like. It looks like most of you were a bit confused. Was it really bad? Yuri, of course not. We were just a little shaken, you know. I mean, have you ever heard yourself when you perform? No, not really. That's why. Trust me, it was breathtaking. Halfway through the presentation, you started feeling noticeably at ease. It's like you were another person. Really? Yup, really, it was incredible. Don't worry yourself over this. If you say so. I sigh with relief. So that's why. Monica looks behind her to check what Natsuki's doing. She raises her voice a little. Would you mind helping me with something? Okay, they went back to the staircase again. This is gonna get interesting. Who's messaging me on Discord? Missed a call from Rossi. I'm live streaming right now. Can't take your call. What do you need help with? Haha, I don't really need help. Oh no. I think I know where this is going. I don't think she knows where this is going, but I think I, myself, know where this is going. So that's why she wanted to exit the room to talk. Alright then. Oh, hey there, Rossi. I don't really know how to sync up Discord with YouTube Live. I mean, you can do it with Twitch, though, pretty easily. We both climb up the stairs to the rooftop. There's a cool breeze on the roof. Oh, the same roof the Suri went on to in DDRC. I haven't been up here in ages. Well, it's the same guy that made that one after all, so it would make sense to see like the same assets get used in between different mods. It's the same guy that made the Doki Doki Literature Club mod from before that I played, like Doki Doki Rain Clouds. So, I think we can both agree that Natsuki's different today, right? I think it's safe to assume that yes. Any idea of what could have caused it? Well, as I said, it could be because of me and how I invited her to my home yesterday. Or it could be about Level Engine. I've never seen her act this way before. It's quite troubling. Well, I just wanted to ask you to try to understand. I'm not saying you should pester her to tell you what's wrong, and I certainly don't want you to get information from me. But as the club president, it is my duty to make sure every member is at ease. Was she already nervous when you saw her today? Indeed. She was, well, a little distant? I don't know if I should bring up the talk we've had while she was in the bathroom. It may be a little personal, but Monica obviously wants Natsuki to feel better. I will save here. Don't betray Natsuki. Sorry, but I'm not going to betray her. With all the drama we've been having lately, we haven't had the time to talk about our own lives. Myself? Well, pretty okay. My arm itches a little bit. This can't be considered as bad. Actually, my life is a little better. My ethical sense has been greatly impacted, but that's alright. Are you really sure? I mean, you look tired, and you've been gone from the club room almost all afternoon. Well, to be completely honest, I don't really remember what happened this afternoon. I fell asleep at some point, but as I said, I'm fine. I've been a little bothered by what happened yesterday with Natsuki, of course. but I'm hoping everything will be back to normal between us. Everything will be back to normal, I'm sure of it. You can't let one person separate the two of you, right? Once everything will be clear between Level Engine and she, it'll be fine. She pats me on the shoulder. Who wouldn't want to be your friend? I have a few names in mind. Don't be ridiculous. I don't want any negativity. Alright? If you want. I don't really mind. It's impossible to please everyone, so I'm just me. As embarrassing as it is, I can't change it. Monica and I stand there a few minutes, looking at the surroundings, breathing in the fresh air. After a moment, I hear the fence move a little. I turn around and see Monica waiting for me. Where'd she get going, you know? Alright. Back in the club room. You two sure took your time. What did you need help with anyway, Monica? Oh, She looks at me. I sense a cry for help. We had to go check up on the third floor since Siori got some stuff there. I see. You still took your time, though. Wait, did you miss us? Of course. Well, I mean, it's more about the fact that I can't leave the club room if you don't close it, Monica. So I was kind of trapped in here. Honorable motive, indeed. Since you asked so nicely, I'll let you out. Why, thank you, Prez. I'll get going. I'll see you two tomorrow. Before Natsuki leaves the room, I call her. Wait! Do you mind if I walk home with you? I promise things won't end up like yesterday. Is she really hesitating? I guess we can, yeah. I sigh. I'm going to ask her what's wrong. She's acting more and more distant. I don't like this. We'll both get going then. And Monica's gonna stay in the club room. I just want to briefly see what would have happened if we'd have made the other choice here. You know how she left the room a little earlier? I followed her to the bathroom because I couldn't bear seeing her like that. She was coughing and I suspect she was crying a little too. This is none of my business. I totally understand it, but I'm concerned. Because no matter what the root cause of the problem is, such a reaction isn't good. Whether it be about Level Engine or something else even. Love. Love, right? Do you think Natsuki's in love? I take a few seconds to think. Now that I think about it, it can't just be coincidence. Natsuki started acting this way since Level Engine joined the club. It's definitely not a coincidence. I was jealous, you were right, but I want the best for Natsuki, so I'll support her. That's exactly the kind of behavior that makes you a great person, Yuri. I don't really know if much changes anyway, besides just slightly different dialogue. I don't know if it's going to have an effect in the long run or anything. Would you like to take a little detour at the bridge? It wouldn't take too long, I promise. But we said we'd talk for a little bit, right? Well... I look at my feet. I'd understand if you had better things to do, of course. Well, if it doesn't take too long, then sure. Okay, let's go to the bridge. Oh, this one. Natsuki's looking at the sea, not saying a word. Hey, Natsu? She chuckles a little. I already told you. Don't call me Natsu. Haha, I know. So about today, I want to let you know that if I did anything wrong, I should apologize for that. I know I've been really pushy lately. I'll tell you what's wrong. I can see you feel bad because of me, but things are complicated. There's been quite a lot on my mind lately. First, she takes a deep breath. Let's say I got yelled at quite a bit yesterday, so of course it made me feel a little bad. That's why I think we should try to hang a little less. Oh, not that I want that to happen, of course, but I'd like to avoid hurting my father. You know, feels like I've been stabbed 1,000 times. Look at Natsuki's face. How can she remain so calm after saying such a thing? But, Natsuki, let me finish. Also, stop blaming yourself all the time. It hurts me, you know. Seeing how much you blame yourself because of me. Stop doing that. She stares at the sky before continuing. There's also that other problem. Don't make fun of me, alright? I would never make fun of you. I'm sorry for hurting you, but I don't understand. Why does my heart beat so fast when he's near me? Why does time fly when we're talking? Why do I always see him in my head? It hurts, Yuri. It truly does. Without a word, I hug Natsuki. I don't care how weird it is, I just want to be there for her. I understand, Natsuki. I know how you feel. Don't feel the urge to apologize, please. If I have to stop spending so much time with you for your sake, then I will. Natsuki hugs me back, drying her tears on my shirt. Are you sure? Absolutely. We stay here for a little while before Natsuki finally lets go of me. You know, I'm glad you can understand. It's my duty as your role model, you know. Hey, that's my line. Not anymore. By the way, about Sayori. Has Monica told you anything about her? She did tell me to avoid sharing my poems with her. Why? I was thinking it'd be nice to see her out of school. I'm probably going to see her this evening. You should do the same at some point. I'm sure she'd enjoy it. Oh, of course. Well then, I'll get going. I'm guessing we're going back to the Oro Falls again, but we're not going to do it tonight. It's getting pretty late. Well, it's gonna get late if I just stay here for like another hour or so. She's probably gonna call Sayori. Why? How come she can't spend time with me, but spending time with Sayori is fine? Did I really do something wrong? No. Natsuki's words sounded genuine. I shake my head and I take one last look at the sea. Time to go home. As I take my time to walk home, I find myself thinking about what Natsuki has told me. I should take some time to see Sayori. Maybe it'd make her more at ease to see her friends outside of school without having any pressure. But what are we supposed to do outside of school? We merely talk about literature when we're in the club room. I have no idea about anything she enjoys. What did Natsuki even plan to do with her? I should have asked her to get a general idea. I sigh. I'll do my best then. I hope she's having an enjoyable evening at least. I put my bag on the couch looking out the window. It's not even that late yet. I sit down on the couch, taking my book out of my bag. I usually would have finished it a few days ago, but I couldn't bring myself to, considering the recent events. I cautiously lift my sleeve. Recent events. I shiver a little. I better not think about it. I've managed to forget about it since this afternoon. I've got to keep going. I said it wasn't necessary to stop, but if I get the occasion to, I'll seize it. I relax on the couch. I'm only halfway through my book. I guess now's a good moment to progress a little through the story. It isn't long before my mind starts imagining things again. The more I read, the less I'm focused. My mind keeps going back and forth between Natsuki and Level Engine. I'm nervously tapping my book with my fingers. The situation is irritating me. Am I feeling jealousy, anger, or sadness? Is it because my best friend wants to leave me? Because she wants to leave me for the one and only boy whose company I enjoy? This isn't right. Before I know it, I've closed my book and my face is buried in my hands. No, this isn't right. I get up from the couch. I wander around the living room looking at everything and nothing at the same time. Oh, that's a paradox. Back then, whenever something was wrong, Mama told me to go running. I used to hate it at first, but I realized it's a good as many other ways to forget about my problems, as good as I glance at my arm, as that. Of course, I could just go the easy way and do it again, but it just doesn't feel right. I can't do it now. I feel much better with light clothes on. I haven't run in a while, so I'm not too sure about how long I'll last. I guess it'll only do me good. She walks a little to warm up. The air feels a little different now. It feels a little more fresh. I don't really know where I could run, but I don't want to be in my house right now. If I end up meeting Sayori and Natsuki, it would just be awkward. I break into a small run, heading for the nearest open area. By the time I arrive, I feel like I've already warmed up. Yeah, how many cherry blossoms are in this fictional world anyway? It's a little odd. I haven't exercised in a good month, but I'm still in pretty good shape. My breathing is regular. I take the time to look around me. I haven't been in this part of town in a while. It's still as enjoyable as I remember it, though. It smells of flowers. The breeze on my face is such a good feeling. I close my eyes for a few seconds, letting myself get absorbed by the regular rhythm of my breathing. I focus on my steps. I can probably do more than that. I want to be focused on my run. Only my run. Nothing else. I suddenly speed up to a sprint. I can't describe how good it feels to be going so fast. The landscape is all blurry around me. My heart is beating so fast I can hear it in my ears. This is what I want. This is what I like about it. Adrenaline. That feeling that you're going beyond your own limits. I spread out my arms to feel the wind. How long has it been already? 1 minute? 5 minutes? I can feel my legs getting tired, but my speed remains the same. As long as I can keep running, I will keep running. Focus. Focus. I can do this. And she runs into something. I suddenly give up. I didn't slow down, so I lost my rhythm. I tried to do too much. I shouldn't have gotten ahead of myself. Thank God I protected myself with my arms as I fell. My left arm hurts. I think it's bleeding again. But at least my body doesn't hurt. In fact, it feels pretty good. I may have pushed it to an extreme, but maybe it was a necessary evil. At least I feel calmer now. I stumble to get back on my feet. Maybe it's time to go back home now. Part of me wants to write my poem, but I'm pretty sure it's better for me to rest. I lazily walk to my room. I let myself fall on my bed. For what feels like an hour, I just lay there looking at the ceiling. My mind feels like one weird combination of emotions. I feel exhausted, but part of the anger I felt before running is still there. I can't get Level Engine's face out of my head. Is it wrong? Is it the same for Natsuki? She said she doesn't understand what she's feeling, right? So we're not too sure it's love. No, we're not sure. One thing's for sure. This run really helped me. I haven't felt this good for a long while, except maybe for that, without even noticing it. My eyes slowly close and I fall asleep with a smile on my face. Do you hate me, Yuri? Is that Natsuki speaking? I guess it is, but we're not even sure. You're looking at your feet. Don't you want to see me? Why are you going to leave us? Sadly, I don't have the right to decide about these things. But why? Why can't anyone do anything for you? This is how life goes. I think it's her dad, not Natsuki. There isn't always a happy end. You'll understand it later in your life, sweetheart. Don't cry, Yuri. Please don't cry. I see a bit of light through my eyelids. Huh. I touch my cheeks. It looks like my skin is wet. Did I cry during my sleep? Must have had a bad dream. Probably like the other two. I didn't actually eat anything yesterday, did I? I chuckle a little. Better late than never. And I'll also have to take a shower, and write a poem, and read a bit. I need to manage my time a little better. I'll start with breakfast. There they are waiting for me, the infamous eggs. I could try cooking them again. I'll have to make sure I don't burn the house down. After a few seconds of serious debate, I grab 2 eggs from the fridge and a frying pan. Eggs, here I come. I made something edible? Haha! I did it! It's such a small accomplishment, but I'm proud of it. It'd probably be pointless to tell anyone else, but I'll remember it. I quickly finish my eggs. After a quick glance at my phone, it's clear I don't have much time until school starts. I don't know what I should do first. Should I write a poem or just take a shower? It'd most likely be wiser to take a shower. I smell like sweat. It would just make it harder to concentrate while writing a poem. We don't even get to see what the bathroom looks like. We got to see Sayori's bathroom. My muscles feel slightly better. I glance at my phone once again. Did I stay under the water that long? School starts in 10 minutes. There's no way I'll ever find the time to write a poem. My last option would be the lunch break, but there's nothing wrong with it, actually. I quickly reach my bag, still on the couch. I look through it to see if I haven't forgotten anything. At the bottom of it, I spot my blade, still bloody from yesterday. I examine it a little. No, I won't need it today. I put it on my coffee table. I'll put it away tonight. My run was more than enough to calm me down. Today will go fine, I just know it. I quickly exit my house, locking the door behind me. I'd like to run to school, but people would probably stare at me. Honestly, my legs hurt way too much. I'll just have to pray to arrive on time. At least, Natsuki didn't have to hang out with me this morning. It still hurts to know that she wants to spend less time with me. But it's for her sake, right? I have to accept it. She's on time, huh? Usual class. Can probably just kind of skip through this. I thought I'd never hear it ring the end of the lesson. I clumsily get up because of my aching muscles. I grab my purse, my notebook, and a pencil from my bag. I'll first get some food. I need it if I want to write properly. Oh, physicist! Must have been busy, I see. I've already been here for an hour and a half. Didn't see too many crazy things yet. I did get to see one character from Katawa Shouju, who apparently, quote-unquote, wasn't real. I think Monica had something to do with that. Like, giving Yuri a mind screw. Now I need to find some place to write. Will it matter what choice I make? Let's go on the roof. Sarah, I can't be in there, right? The 3rd floor is abandoned. There's nothing to do there. I shake my head and I keep walking up the stairs to the roof. The wind is blowing pretty hard, but thankfully I'm the only one here. I put my notebook and my pencil on the floor and I look at the ground. So many students everywhere. What an inspiring view. It feels good to be at a bit of height sometimes. I inhale the fresh air and I sit down ready to write my poem. So, the beach, right? I scratch my head looking for a possible idea. The beach. It's a bit of a vague subject. There are lots of different elements that can be portrayed. This is a bit more frustrating than I expected it to be. Imposing themes shouldn't be allowed. Of course, I know what I'm gonna write. But as always, I end up with a poem I'm satisfied with. Beach. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface. Under a clear blue sky, expanse of bliss, but beneath grey rolling clouds and endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in, or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the answer is similar, but we'll cut it. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. Salt is a drug, careful but strong. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back and I abandon my pace to a road at the shore. See the bottom section. It looks good. I managed to use every element I could think of about the beach. I sigh. I can't wait to see what Natsuki has prepared. I glance at my phone. It's already this late? I'm having trouble with my perception of time lately. Just get to class, I guess. I need to stop thinking about him. Bell rings again. The school bell woke me up. She falls asleep during every class. Not even I did this. I climb up the stairs. I can't wait to get to the club room. I want to see what everyone else came up with, and I'd love to see what level is written today. As I approach the room, I start humming. Today feels like a really good day. I peek through the door's window. Natsuki's sitting at the table reading a manga. Will it bother her if I enter? Where's the students and teachers? I really want to see what some of the teachers would look like in one of these mods, in all honesty. She looks up from her manga and smiles at me. Hey Yuri, how are you? I'm fine, and yourself? All good. She looks like she's in a good mood today. That's unusual, considering her behavior yesterday. I suddenly remember our talk at the bridge. Oh, so did you end up seeing Sayori last night? How was she? Oh, yeah, we got to spend some time together. We went to the cinema, saw a pretty good movie. And how was she feeling? She was fine. We had some great discussions, and I learned quite a few things about myself. What kind of things? Just, well, some things, you know. Yes, it is. The festival was the day before, actually. It doesn't matter. Just remember you should try spending some time with her, too. I'm sure she'd like it. I nod at Natsuki. She's being unnecessarily evasive. I guess I can't really ask her to tell me about these things anyway. I promised it'd stop. Alright then. Just go back to doing whatever, reading books. The club door opens. Oh, Sayori. She looks incredibly tired. This is unusual. She's still smiling, though. Hello! Hey, Sayori, you look a bit tired. Is everything alright? So it's not just me. Natsuki's noticed, too. Yeah, don't worry. I just have a headache. I'll be better soon. Make sure you're healthy for the festival, okay? Don't you worry about that. I'll rest for a bit while the others arrive if you don't mind. Natsuki goes back to her manga and Sayori goes to the back of the room. Surprisingly, she doesn't sit with us at the table. She's silent. She isn't doing anything except staring at her desk. I'm concerned. It's not long before the club door opens again. And they both enter. Practicing piano. A lot of dedication. Starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club won't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're willing to help out for the festival, too. So obviously she's grateful for our help. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Oh, I thought it was like 3 months. It was 2? Yeah, it was either 2 or 3. Still pretty astonishing either way. I'm probably gonna spend less than 10 hours on it at this rate. Are you saying you don't like squid? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because it's right in your name. Mon Ika. She's in an extremely good mood today. Especially compared to yesterday. Is it thanks for adding with Sayori, maybe? That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Natsuki and I both look at Monica with quizzical looks. Translation? What is she talking about? Ah, never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, right? If I'm not mistaken, almost nobody was there. Something was different today with Sayori. She didn't even sit with us at the table. Had she said anything in particular? Did something happen today? I didn't really think much about it at all. I'm kind of used to this. No, don't worry. You tried your best. Monica turns around and walks to her desk. A few seconds later, she's joined by Level Engine, who seemingly looks concerned. What did Sayori tell him? I take a step forward to approach her. I want to help her. Before I even take another step, Natsuki stops me. Don't. I think it'd be better for Level Engine and Monica to take care of her. Why don't we go outside for a little bit? Okay. So, you know how I went to the cinema with Sayori yesterday? Before you ask, no, I won't tell you what I've learned. But at some point, we happened to talk about Level Engine, and Sayori, well, she was all happy and cheerful as usual, but I could sense something was wrong. Don't you think she's been acting weirder and weirder these last few days? Indeed. I was just talking about it with Monica. I don't want to make it sound like I'm minding other people's business, but I'm concerned. Well, one of the mornings Yuri saw something, but so far she still maybe thinks it's just a hallucination. A thought flashes across my mind. Back when I saw Sayori's cut. Why didn't I do anything? Even though cutting makes some people feel good, it made me realize it's not healthy. I've been stupid. Yes, there is something you can do about it, Yuri, and we've talked about it already. I try to remember the latest talks we've had. What can I do about it? I'm powerless in this situation. Can't remember? I'm sorry, I really can't. God, what did I tell you yesterday? We have to try seeing her outside of school. She's our friend, right? So why don't we do what real friends do? Our outing at the cinema was really entertaining, and I believe Sayori enjoyed her time out. Displayed behavior when we were talking about Level Engine. Let's just keep it at Sayori, alright? So I'm not even allowed to talk about him? I'm happy for Natsuki and her newly found friendship, but this is a little too much. Alright, yes, Sayori. Do you think she'd actually like spending time with me? Why do you think I asked you to spend time with her? We're all in the same club, aren't we? This isn't a pure coincidence, Yuri. This is fate. So have a bit of confidence and go show Sayori how much you enjoy our friendship. This is deep. Why can't I talk about him? He's a member of our club. I should have the right to appreciate him. Oh, that's a new thing. Seems like that's gonna be hard to hack. That sounds cool. Though it is kind of scary that your iPhone knows exactly what you look like. Maybe you should ask her about it tomorrow? Tomorrow? Natsuki thinks I should show my friendship to Sayori. Do you think I should do it? Definitely. Monika's instant reaction startles me. Really? But I don't know much about her. Want it to be a little awkward? Yuri. You're supposed to be the most poetic one here. Friendship defies both words and logic. It doesn't matter if you don't know how much about her, or if you feel like it'll be awkward. As long as you show your true feelings, as long as you show who you are and what you can do for her, then you're her friend, and a good friend on top of that. I'm at a loss for words. What Monika just said genuinely made me smile. Friendship defies both words and logic. It makes sense. Maybe I should just trust myself. Oh, poems. Even if he's getting inspired by Natsuki's style, he's still improving. I glance at him. He immediately walks toward Natsuki, ready to share his poem. I was expecting that. I'll just wait for him to choose me after her then. As usual, Monika approaches me, obviously wanting to share her poem. This is becoming a habit. I wait for her to hand it to me. Oh, if I press the middle mouse button, the text box disappears. Okay, the characters don't. Just read the poem. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer. All meaning, all purpose. All that was ever sought, and here I am. A feather. Lost adrift the sky. Victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day, I search. I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when others have turned away, the legend is all that remains. The last dim star growing in the twilight sky. Until one day, the wind ceases to blow. I fall. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't just put it on one screen. Because the text would be even smaller than the Amy like spiders. Alright, bye physicist. Her poem sure was lengthy today. It felt different. Something about it is unsettling. I have to admit I like it less than the one from yesterday. I couldn't really understand the subject, nor could I feel anything in particular in it. What am I supposed to tell Monika? I worriedly glanced at her. She's always so happy and proud of her poems. Wouldn't it be awfully mean for me to tell her I didn't like it? But I have to be honest. If I'm not honest, then this club is no point. What am I supposed to do? Is everything alright? Huh? I jerk my head up. I have no choice then. Yes, everything's fine. I was just thinking. Are you sure it's fine if I give you my honest opinion? Will you hate me because of it? My, Yuri. I've already told you, if I didn't want an honest opinion, I'd ask someone else. Judging from the face you're making right now, I'm guessing my poem isn't really good, is it? No! I look down, trying to keep a neutral expression. I haven't said it's bad. Alright, I'll try to give you as much constructive criticism as possible. Okay, I'm listening. The first thing that struck me when I read your poem was the rhythm. I think this one was different. Not bad, it's just not precise. And it bothered me while voicing it in my head. Next, the length. I had to turn it over to keep reading it. When you want to convey emotions and ideas, it's better to keep it short and powerful. You tend to easily forget the details you wrote at the beginning, and it ends up being hard to follow for the reader. And the subject is abstract. Enjoyed it still, though. Oh my, did I just monologue again? I'm sorry, I had so many things to say. It's fine, it's fine. I've really liked hearing your thoughts. Everything you said made perfect sense. I tried something a little different, but I guess I have my own style after all. I'll try rewriting this one sometime. And about that last inquiry. Wasn't too focused when I wrote it. I had some things on my mind. I'll do my best to bring an interesting poem for the festival. I'm sure they'll write something great, Monica. I'll be cheering you on. Thank you, Yuri. Your turn now. I'm really curious. What have you written today? The beach. Do you think you could teach me some of your techniques someday? Huh? I don't know how I should answer. Is Monica merely teasing me, or did she really want me to do it? I'm yearning to do it. I'd love to share my passion with someone. I try to conceal my smile, but I don't last 5 seconds. Sure, I mean it would be a good idea, but your style is great. I'm sure we could come to do some amazing things together, if you want. For real? Okay, she's talking about level lunge again. His writing is becoming more and more interesting. This is unfair. He hands me his poem looking away. Without another word, I start reading it. It's almost the same thing again. Once again, I'm feeling conflicted. I can't help but let my personal feelings get in my way. His style is clearly starting to look like something. However, this something looks awfully close to Natsuki's. It shouldn't bother me, really. But I don't know. I don't think it's fitting for his personality. I silently apologize to Natsuki in the back of my head. Decided to try something different today? I guess so. Is that good or bad? Well, neither. I have my preferences. It would be unfair of me to call something good or bad based on that. All good until now. I'm not letting my personal interests get in the way here. It's making me sound awfully cold. I hope I'm doing the right thing. I understand why he's trying to imitate her style, but the goal here is to find his own style. Getting inspiration is good, however, imitating isn't. Why is he scared of disappointing me? He's trying to impress Natsuki, right? Nothing but pure speculation. We've barely spoken, after all. That must be terrible. For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome. How unlikable of me. Yuri. It's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come to these sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. My eyes suddenly widen. This isn't what we're supposed to be talking about. I don't dare look at Level Engine's face. I probably just sound miserable. I have friends here. I don't need more, right? What I said wasn't true. No, it wasn't. Yuri. What am I saying? I'm not used to being disliked. Yuri? What am I saying? I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Luckily, he doesn't look too bothered. Do you want to share your poem now? Okay, here. I hand him my poem. Then he stops reading after a few minutes. The beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. You say that like you didn't even want to write about it. Oh, so Natsuki hasn't told him about our little literary agreement then. Oh, you haven't heard? After yesterday, Natsuki and I, well, it was amusing that we both wrote about something similar in such different ways. So Natsuki wanted us to write about the same topic as each other again. I see. His reaction is awfully mundane. This looks like he doesn't really care in the end. He hasn't really said anything about the poem itself. I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing styles or thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she wanted to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. I'm sounding like an idiot, aren't I? I just can't talk about Natsuki like that, but something just compels me to try and justify myself. I don't want Level Engine to hate me, but I don't want Natsuki to hate me either. It's hard to please everyone. It's too hard. Should have been more outgoing like Natsuki, maybe? Or can I shake my head? This is wrong. I want to be the best for Natsuki, period. I see her sitting at the table waiting for the poem sharing session to finish. For the first time this week, I'm the one who approaches her to share my poem. Natsuki? We're supposed to share poems, you know. Yes, of course, that's right. Did something happen between her and Level Engine? This is none of my business, after all. I brightly smile at Natsuki. I'm sure you've written something impressive. Can I read it? Of course. Yeah, the text is really small. It's really hard to read this when it's just shoved into one screen. I have to admit I'm impressed. Her poem is considerably longer than usual, and something about it feels different. Like she wrote it with some real feelings behind it. I'd say her take at such a cliche subject is really great. This is good, Natsuki. I really liked it. Is that so? I'm glad you did. She doesn't say much more. I hand her my poem. Yeah, it's good. I think you did well. It's impressive. She hesitates a little. Tell me, what did Level think about it? Why does that matter? Just did he say anything about it? I slowly sigh. No, he didn't. Our interactions have been a little awkward, to say the least. For a second, I'd swear I saw Natsuki sighing in relief. I grab my poem on my desk and I stand up. Well, thank you for sharing. She nods at me and I silently walk back to my chair. Just why did she have to talk about him this instant? We're supposed to be sharing our work. We wrote about this subject because we wanted to see how each of us would interpret it, right? And we barely exchanged our opinions. This is frustrating. Maybe she's just in a bad mood today. Yeah, that must be it. Looks like Monika's done with Level. The latter subject is walking towards Sayori, poem in hand. Just like he did with me, he hands her the poem without a word. As I look at the other side of the room, I see Monika and Natsuki chatting. And I'm not too sure about how to feel. And I don't want to talk about it with Yuri either. How come? I'm sure she'd be glad to help you. No, she wouldn't. I've seen the way she looks at him, you know. She's often staring. Just what are they talking about? Don't tell me. You should be more considerate, Natsuki. I understand that you'd like to get closer to Level Engine, but keep in mind Yuri's been there for you. I've got circumstances. I can't really explain what it's about, but I promise you Yuri is very important to me. However, Listen, I just can't tell you. Monika shakes her head. I slowly turn around to quietly get back to my chair. However, as I do so, my hip hits one of the tables. The two of them instantly notice me. Yuri! Have you happened to hear what we said? Oh, just a little bit of it, I guess. Then do you know about the circumstances Natsuki was talking about? Hey! Don't talk about it so nonchalantly. Circumstances? I haven't really heard anything about this. What's wrong, Natsuki? Listen, this has nothing to do with you two, alright? Let's get this poem session done for today. She signs us to go away. How mean. I can't put my finger on what Natsuki's problem is, and it seems like Monika's having trouble with it too. She has a complex expression on her face. Aren't you a little worried about her? Oh, not really. I think I already know what's going to happen, so I'm not too worried. You know what's going to happen? I think I do, but let's let things happen naturally, alright? She glances at Level Engine, walking back to us with a confused expression. It takes a few seconds for you to notice that Sayori isn't in the room anymore. Just where did she go? Without skipping a beat, Monika immediately gets ready for her next club activities. Seems like her conversation is over then. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second! Is it just me or did you say something strange just now? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Keys. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Natsuki points her finger at me. It's true that despite the good mood that had settled in my head this morning, everything is quite unsettling now. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Suddenly I hear Level Engine sarcastically chuckle. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Sayori's always been here to lighten the mood, so it just feels different without her here. I hope she's alright. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori, and second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? I wasn't planning on interrupting, but I'm intrigued. From my point of view, it looked like Level was the one avoiding people today. quid pro quo, maybe? That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine. What did she say? Monika doesn't answer. Either she ignored his request or she simply didn't hear it. There'd be no reason to ignore Level Engine, so I believe she must be under some stress. Aren't we all? Need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. Natsuki wants to do it herself. Monika's gonna make the pamphlets, Yuri's gonna help, and Yuri... You can, Monika's voice is suddenly much softer. Guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. I look down at my feet. This is awkwardly depressing. I'd love to help, but in the end, I'm as lost as Monika. I don't even know what I could help the club with. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now Natsuki's pouting too? Geez, I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. If she were around, this matter would have already been selected. But she isn't here, and I can't help but be concerned about her too. Too many things to focus on. That may be the case. But if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. I slowly raise my head to stare at Monika. Atmosphere? About that, I love atmosphere. I can already see in my mind what I'd like to do. How haven't I thought this earlier? I'd love working on this aspect of the festival. Creating something powerful and beautiful to catch the eye. Something colorful, maybe? Something that'll show people what kind of group we are? Yes, that could work. Your mind is already racing, I see. Level's comments gets me out of my thoughts. Right, this isn't over yet. One more member needs an assigned role. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Level Engine. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would really be appreciative of that. I wouldn't mind a bit of help. So she wants to be with him too. Not that I'm surprised though. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monika's going to give me a choice and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned you would like to handle the baking on your own. Level may not like to be around you if you only make him out to be a nuisance, so therefore, he may be more suited to assist with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard it'd be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for level 2. What are you saying? It'll be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? This girl, she's not the person I know. Always trying to fight. Can't she understand I just want someone to help me? Doesn't she get enough time by his side already? It's not too much to ask, right? Once again, I feel anger boiling inside me. Guys, let's settle down for a moment and let him choose. I'm sure he'd be interested in me. You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Monika, of all people? It's true she's been working hard for all of us lately. She hasn't even gotten some time to get to know him. But isn't she already working with Sayori, so he's not gonna go with Monika? I'll end up doing it alone, huh? Of course. I'm used to it after all. That's good. Judging by Level and Monika's reactions, I may have said it too dramatically, but I'm a bit saddened. However, maybe it's for the best. I still don't know if Mom will be back this weekend. Natsuki doesn't seem to care about the current situation and keeps going. So, that's everything, right? And everything else we need to talk about? No, that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes! Everything except for the performance is gonna be awesome. I don't think that really counts. What about you, Level? Me? I'm interested to see how it would turn out. She's still sulking. I know they're talking about me, but I can't bring myself to talk. I don't want to. My thoughts are conflicting with one another. I'm here to support Natsuki, but the lack of compassion she's shown. Thank God it didn't end up being another argument. I don't think she'd have forgiven me this time. I even wonder if she fully forgave me last time. It's not. I mean, it's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not be just that. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little unappreciated in general. Having to come up with something for her to do and then nobody offering to help. I want to smile at Level Engine's statement. It's not particularly wrong, but this may be putting a little too much pressure on me in the end. That doesn't mean... Ugh. She glances at everyone alternatively. Look. I'm startled as Natsuki suddenly puts her hands on my shoulders. Yuri, you really are the most talented one here, and you're going to help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. Cupcakes will probably help a lot too, but you're going to make the atmosphere special. So you need to stop being dumb and give yourself some credit. Dummy is the worst thing she'd call me if she were being sincere. You really didn't mean that, did you? Not really, but... I stopped looking at Natsuki to concentrate on everyone else. Monika's a bit surprised. I'm gonna do my best. So what's gonna happen after this? I think Yuri's gonna go with Sayori to the Yoro Falls. I mean, they both went there together in DDRC, so I figured if this is just gonna be like a sort of spiritual successor to that, then I can totally imagine them going both of them going to Yoro Falls again. I'm butchering like probably half my sentences. I think it's time to stop the stream real soon. Close one, huh? Excuse me? You were about to start another argument with Natsuki, am I right? That was close. Oh, yes. But it seems like she was able to remember who we are in the first place. Haha. And who are you, Yuri? I'm just teasing you. You scared me for a second. I really thought you'd start philosophically questioning me. No, I would never do that. Shall we get going then? Of course. Finally, the end of the week. So this would be the Saturday? Well, in the game anyway. No, not really. It's good to see you smiling like that. You look surprisingly calm after what just happened. It's just that I decided to be a little more grateful for all the wonderful moments I'm spending with you. Walking outside, enjoying the fresh breeze, talking to you on a personal level. Sure, I'm a little disappointed in Natsuki's behavior, and by the fact that I can't stay with Level Engine, but I think I should take pride in those simple things around me. After all, they made me the person I am today, and as long as I can still enjoy them, it's all that counts. You're right. Spring weather sure is something, huh? Great scenery to write about. Some place that can interest you? Okay, once we go there, I'm gonna stop the stream. Oh. After 10 minutes of speed walking, we enter a beautiful forest. I think I'm gonna drop the save right about here? And then we'll do a part 3 sometime during the week.